Hi, this is Natalie Bodley, EDMU 524. My mini unit was on subtraction with regrouping, which is a second grade skill, a second grade standard that they have to use. The big idea is I wanted to pull together activities, resources for students to use to give them opportunities to practice regrouping. At the end of a lesson, no student wants to just sit there and do problems from the book. They're important, they're necessary, so I thought it would be fun to have games and activities incorporated into it. A lot of good instruction, but a lot of fun games as well. The standards were numbers in base 10.5 and numbers in base 10.7, adding and subtracting within 100 and then within 1,000. And the big idea, one of the other ideas is that they're not just subtracting ones all the time. They're actually subtracting tens and hundreds. And I think when they understand that concept, it makes it easier. They get it more, and their learning is going to last until they're just going to get it. So the first lesson is where I introduced my literature component. I used the book, The Good Neighbor's Cheese Feast. It's a book written for math instruction. So the whole thing is about that. We did some examples with blocks, and we actually did do a worksheet from the textbook on this one, just because I wanted to give them some good solid practice. Here's a little book, The Good Neighbor's Cheese Feast. My favorite part about it is that it's very visual. It shows that this little guy right here is the onesie. His name is Onesie, and he only likes groups of one piece of cheese at a time. Where this guy is a little bit bigger, and he lives next door, and his name is Tenzi, I think, or Tenorio. He's a little bit of a Spanish guy. He's a little bit taller, a little bit bigger, and he likes groups of 10 cheese. And then our little queen, she kind of looks like a queen. She's the biggest, and she likes groups of 100 cheese. And so it goes to the story and talks about how they're making a feast and they want to make food, but they need to borrow some cheese from the other one and how they convert it into smaller pieces. The second lesson, we do subtraction with blocks. Base 10 blocks, a lot of that in this unit. That's part of the standard, and it just helps them understand better. This is a game that we played. We played it as partners and individuals. This was the individual kind of sheet. They had to spin the spinner. I don't have the little brads put together on it. Get one of these numbers, write it on the top, spin the bottom number, and then write it, and then solve the problem, and that helped. This is a math jokes page that I incorporated as a quick kind of exit ticket. It was just 12 problems they had to solve and then answer the question, why was the math book sad? Lesson 3 was my big STEAM and writing component. I kind of combined them together. We went over the vocabulary for math. What is a divisor? Not a divisor. That doesn't make sense. That's division. What does it mean to regroup? What does it mean to subtract? We also went over subtraction words. There's another little visual right down here. Let's see. Subtraction words. The students, we went over word problems a lot, and we used this chart. We would use this chart, like I did this lesson, but to help them realize that when they see a word problem, if it says takeaway, decrease, difference, minus, how many left, fewer, they know that's a subtraction problem. They have to subtract that out. I feel like I've been in third grade a lot as a substitute, and they get caught up in what they're supposed to do because they don't know the key terms. So if they have those for each of the operations, then it's going to be a lot easier. They're going to be more accurate, and they can solve the problem better. After they learned all this and they had some practice, every student was to create a Kahoot word problem question, and then we solved them together. That was my technology component, is creating Kahoots. Lesson 4 is we continued on with working up to 1,000. We went over the cube, how these are ones, these are tens, these are hundreds, and this is actually 1,000. We had some fun activities with that. The very last activity we did, or the quiz was in there, the Google quiz, and then this game they played with a partner. They started with 1,000, and they rolled a dice every time. Say they rolled a 4. They take that 1,000 and get to 123. Then the next turn, if they rolled a 2, they take that previous amount and then subtract 574, etc. If they landed on the treasure box, they got to add 1,000. So there's a little bit of addition in there as well. My favorite part of this was combining all kinds of activities to give a good lesson. I think that games are fun, and it just gives great opportunities to practice. They don't realize that they're practicing because they're having fun. My challenge was I found so many different activities. I started looking early in this term just because I knew there's a lot to it. And I had a hard time picking and choosing which ones I thought were the best and which I thought would be the most engaging, especially for the students I know that work, that go to my school. It was a fun project, a lot of work, but I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for watching.